What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Collecting is Fun, where I show you that collecting is fun. And today, just came in. Today, we're going to be reviewing the 2 new additions to the Spider-Verse franchise. Man, I'm excited to have these figures right here. I mean, I've been a fan of Spider-Man India. I've read his comic book when he first came out with the first costume, the first iteration that they came out with, and I'm glad they have evolved into something more specific and more individualistic for this particular figure and character. And then over here on the left, we've got Miles G. Morales, and we're going to take a look at that. But first, we're going to open up my man right here, Pavitr. All right, go ahead and sit here over here, and we're going to go ahead and take him out the packaging. One moment. All right, so now we have my man out of the packaging. He comes with alternate head, which, just take a look at that real quick. That is a pretty cool head there. You've got the hair showing. Hair's pretty luscious, luxurious, full-bodied. You've got the head. You've got the little dot right there. You see that? Nice paint apps. Very nice paint apps. Very cool. Almost like a swoosh, but that's cool. I'm not sure what that is there, but yo, I like that. And then that little piece of paint right there is also on the other side, but his hair is there. But I like that. They didn't have to put that little piece of paint right there. That white paint you see there? It's the same as this side, but you see it's right there underneath his hair. It's just really faint. Is there. They didn't have to do that, but they did it anyway to continue the whole consistent look. Got the headband all around, and they had that there just so you can still see that it's on both sides. Even though the hair doesn't move, it's still there, fully painted like the hair was not supposed to be there, but they did it anyway. That's some attention to detail. I appreciate that, especially for the culture and who this represents, what it represents. Then you got 2 hands. You got just your regular hand here. I mean, nothing really special about that. It's got the nice little spider logo. If you can see that in the light, I want to get that fleshed out there. Then you also have the fisted hand, same thing. You see that? Pretty nice. That's cool. Got this, the web, and I'm not exactly sure what that's called. Not exactly sure. But he holds it from both sides. Like if you take a look at the back of this, you see that? He holds it. So I'm not sure what that's for. I don't know. I'll probably pose him with him just like that just so we can use it. Because I don't know what else I would do with that. And then we got the figure. Also, these cards, you know, I usually like to keep my cards. I mentioned, like in one of my videos, that I like to keep artwork. Now, and especially if it's a retro card, I like to keep it. But the thing about these retro cards is there's nothing specific about these. Every one of the figures, as you can see, just like Miles G over here, it's the same exact thing. There is nothing special about this. Every figure, no matter what figure it is, if it's from the Spider-Verse line, is going to be in this packaging, just like the older figures from the first wave that came out. And then on the back, sure, it's a little different because it shows you the different wave of figures that are coming out. But it's still, this is the only specific part on the back of it, which is fine. I mean, I guess you can keep it, but it's just, you know, am I going to turn it around just to have him showing? Maybe. I can probably think about that. But what I usually like to do is, if it's a retro card, I like to keep it because it has the specifics about this right here. I would cut out all the plastic to make it nice and, you know, free from plastic as much as I possibly can. And I just have the card with the Prowler right there. See that? This fits him. Like no other figure can be in here because he's right there on the front. Not just the front, but also the back. This whole thing represents him. Whereas in the Spider-Verse, It's pretty much just them, and everybody else is pretty much sharing the same thing. So I don't know. I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with that. But I appreciate that. Now let's jump into good old Pavitr, Pavitr, Pervy, Sage. I'm just kidding. I know how to pronounce his name. Pavitr Prabhakar, right? This guy right here is a really cool addition to the Spider-Verse universe. And I really enjoy everything they've done here. Like when he first came out, he had the look of, it just looked like Spider-Man just visited India. That's really what it looked like. It just looked like Spider-Man or Peter Parker just came into India, had his regular outfit on from the top, and then had on some white pants and the typical shoes. Looked like he just was an Aladdin Spider-Man. That's pretty much what he looked like. So I'm like, all right. I mean, that's the beginning part of it. It looked cool. It looked okay for the first iteration of him. But then I'm glad they finally gave him his own individual look, which represents his actual culture. And I just want to take a moment of that because this is really interesting. Really interesting on how he looks. So let's take a look. If you don't know anything about this guy, I'm going to read some information about him. So it says in late 2019, Pavitr would meet a mystical shaman thing, which gave him magical spider powers that he resolved to use to help those in need, becoming the one and only Spider-Man of India. So he is definitely a different timeline Spider-Man, right? So acting as a superhero in his home dimension, Pavitr continues the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man attitude synonymous to the mantle, such as feeding stray dogs, stopping crime, and being a positive example to the community. He would also fight against some supervillains while he continued to go to school and pass time with his aunt. And at one point of his life, Pavitr began to date his classmates, Gayatri Singh, and maintained a relationship as a secret to avoid having to be at odds with her father. So I'm guessing she was supposed to be the Indian equivalent of Gwen Stacy. So that's really cool. And then the thing about this guy, I really enjoy this art style because it shows, again, the culture. So I really had to do some research about this because I was really interested in why they chose these colors. Sure, it's got the red and blue, the traditional colors, the primary colors that Spider-Man uses, with the white in some cases. But like this whole look, the pants and the color scheme and everything, like what is this about? So it looks like one of the artists here, you see, what's his name? The artist, Naveen Selvanathan. I apologize if that's not how you pronounce your name. But he says that he explains that the art style used was inspired by Indian architecture and theater art forms like Theyyam, Yakshagana, and Kuthu. These are all folk dance and theater forms from southern India, and one can see how they inspired the vibrant pastel-based art style of Pavitr Prabhakar. I really like how this looks, and I'm glad to know that because you can definitely see the theatrical aspect of it. You see how shiny this is? It's actually pretty shiny. Hopefully it shows up for you to see. But it's really shiny and theatrical, so you can tell that this is something a dancer would wear on stage to really show off their moves and the culture that they're coming from. It's absolutely impressive how everything comes together and so vibrant. It's such a celebration of that culture, right? So you got there. I think that's probably part of their culture there because it looks like a spider web, but I'm not sure what that is. This whole spider right here is just beautiful. We'll get into the articulation. Just appreciate this artwork here. Like I said, I like good art. I appreciate it. Here's the back of it. Nice looking spider there. Got the little sash or whatever drooping down the middle. That's really cool. Nice and modest there. Got the armbands. You've got even this here. Dripping down. Definitely a good representation of the Indian culture, I believe. I'm not sure what this is. If this is supposed to be like a whip shooter or something, I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, one thing I am not fond of, though, is this design of being barefoot. I've never enjoyed seeing a figure or character in any iteration, honestly, just walking around barefoot. I don't, I just don't, I'm just not with that, really. I mean, I get it. You know, he's using his spider powers. He's walking around barefoot, whatever. And his comic book logic, I get it. Yeah, you know, you got to suspend your disbelief a whole lot with a lot of the stuff. So, yeah, but I just wish he had, like, on some shoes. That's just me. Some different kind of shoes. Doesn't have to be the typical Indian pointy shoes, but just something different. Maybe some sneaks or something. Show some Indian sneakers, see what they look like. I don't know. That just wouldn't be my choice. All right, let's get into the articulation of this guy. Okay, goes all the way around. Yeah. He's got the bicep swivel, so he can go all the way up. He's got the double jointed elbows. Look at that. They are double jointed, right? So, okay, see, I don't like that. I got to put all this extra pressure to figure out how to. Oh, snap, it did it. Sweet. Oh, don't try to avoid stress marks on that. But yeah. If you find it tough, don't be afraid to heat up your figure, because you do not want something as cool as this breaking on you. You don't. For the price point of, what is it, $24.99? I got this on Amazon. This is really cool. Really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing these in stores and see how many people actually get this. Got the double jointed knees. Got the nice pivot there. Oh, yeah. You can definitely put him in like a little dance pose or something. This is pretty tight. Yeah, that's a nice look, man. Just the colors, man. The way it pops. It's just such a cool look, man. Kudos, bravo. Bravo to everyone who was a part of this. Let me see if I can find something on the back of the packaging that represents or shows me who did what. I don't see. Oh, man, I wish they gave honor to who did this. No, for the toy aspect. You know, we already read, you know, who inspired, who gave the art for him, but, you know, still the sculpting and as well, I'd like to, you know, give them a shout out too. Look at that. That's so cool right there. Look at that. That's a really nice touch there. Really cool. All right, so we got the ab crunch, which is down there. So he's coming in for a landing. There it is. He's swinging. Right. Probably dunking on the rim. Probably have him dunking. I also take some pictures sometimes with these guys in a starting lineup rim. So maybe he might do something like that. And can he do a full split? No, he cannot do a full split. But he's got something. Got something there. Right. Don't want to push it too far, but that's it there. I think that's it. Of course, head swivel. It's also on his neck. You see the design right there on his neck? That's cool. They did an excellent job. The blues in the inside. That's just, man. It's a lot. It's really cool. It's a piece. This is a really cool piece. That's Spider being so flashy. Definitely theater. Performance style artwork. Let's go ahead and take his head off. I'm not going to do too much with his hands. I mean, you can pop his hand off. It's the same typical Hasbro stuff that you would normally see. Right? So, well, let me just at least do one. There's the fisted hand. You can take that bracelet off and put it on his left hand if you want to do that for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe give it to another figure. I don't know. Not sure what that is. All right, take his head off. Let's see. Oh, nice and easy. And let's take a look at what he looks like fully in the spider outfit. Yo, that's my man right there. Pavitr, Prabhakar. Yes, sir. This is so cool. Yeah, joint's getting looser now. Yeah. This is a cool figure. It's really cool. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the look. I'm enjoying the feel of it. It's definitely worthwhile. Definitely want to get this one. I saw this for pre-order. I was like, I'm getting this one first for sure. I'm definitely going to pre-order this one. Because, again, I like how he has evolved into his own look. His own cultural representation is right there. And that's a beautiful thing. Solid figure, man. Very solid. I appreciate that wholeheartedly. So we're going to go ahead and put you to the side. Put this back on so you can hold your web. All right. See if I can do this really quick here. Come on now. Do it on camera. Do it quick. If not, you have to just pause it and go to the next thing. There we go. And we'll dynamic pose you later on. But for now, I'm going to stay right there and look pretty. And also, let me see, just take a look at his head. The eyes are cool. The paint apps are okay with his eyes. The nose, lips there. That's a cool look, man. And the hair matches the hair on the other side there. So there's no real difference except that he has the mask on or mask off. That's great. Now, I'm going to do two in the same video. I'm going to go ahead and open this guy, Miles G. Morales. All right, so I have taken him out of the packaging. I took the liberty of putting some accessories already on him. So I did already do the head swap of this particular character, Miles G. Morales. What does the G stand for? It stands for Gonzalo. Miles Gonzalo Morales. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to refer to this character as Gonzalo. And he has, excuse me, he has a grippy hand, even though there is nothing for him to grip. They did not supply anything for him to grab. So, the world's your oyster on that one. He has a fist, left-handed fist. Only two sets of hands. This is peak Hasbro right here, where they only give you two sets of hands, just like they did for my man Pavitr. So they gave you the backpack, which I already put on, and it was pretty easy. You just basically take off his hands, and then you just slide it through, and it shimmies up here, and you can strap it on right here. Put his head on, and as you can see, his head is the same as this one because he has braids. See that? Pretty cool. So he will be putting his head up here, and no matter which head you have on, you can put his up here, scratch his braids because his braids are really tight. Like, no, let's not do that. Not with that on. So it's gonna scratch it and dry your scalp up or something. You don't want to do that. So this is a really cool looking figure, man. I enjoy what they've done here. The aesthetics. I mean, let's just take a look at the size difference between old school or the last Miles versus this one. You can see they're pretty close in height. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that. You see his hair just a little bit above his. Their faces are also smaller. Right? You can see his face is just a tad bit smaller than his. But that's about it on that. I mean, I like how it's just a stark contrast between the two characters, between the two figures here. It's like you got the hero, and then on this side, he is actually about to face his, not his alter ego, but an actual villain, which is him. And that's a cool concept right there. Like, that's something that I'm glad they're giving him. Because he's not just fighting some other villain. He is, like, it's metaphorically and psychologically, it's symbolic right here. He is fighting himself. It's an alternate timeline version of himself, but it's still him. I mean, that right there is, it speaks true to life. Like, you literally can be your own worst enemy. Like, you can mess up your own setup. You can set yourself back. You can think yourself out of a good thing. And that's exactly what he's going to be doing. He's going to be facing off against himself, trying to figure out why this one went the way he went and so forth and so on. So it's going to be a real nice psychological trip, 4 miles, to be talking to Gonzalo here and find out what in the world happened. You know, is there something that we can do? Can we negotiate? What? So it's going to be an interesting time whenever this movie comes out. Another thing I really enjoy about this is the color scheme. I really enjoy the fact that they're using purple. In case you did not know, purple is the color of black folks. It is. It's part of our culture. It's been with us since, like, long before any of us were ever thought of, way back in Africa, because purple is associated with royalty. That's the colors that the royalty of old in Africa wore, gold and purple. It's also why T'Challa, even though, yes, he is dressed in black, but he is also using that purple hue when that vibranium kicks in, right? Same thing with Mace Windu. Mace Windu has a purple lightsaber because Samuel L. Jackson's favorite color is purple. But Samuel also knows about what purple represents. Also, throughout the years we've seen this. Even the Prowler, black guy, purple, right? Even with, I think, the Prowler in the last Spider-Verse movie had the same thing. But this is another one. Look at this one. The What If T'Challa Star-Lord character. This figure is pretty nice. You see that classy jacket, purple jacket. Even the background is purple. They even put the purple right there. I mean, it's just purple and gold right there. It's just something that has been throughout history. So what you have here are 2 characters, 2 figures that have the culture of the people that they're representing right here displayed in full on the figures. I really like that. I like how they did this. This is really cool here. You can see from the clear design of this. I mean, the theatrical look of it. I mean, it's just representing the Hindi culture. And this, just with the color purple, is really it. And then if you take a look at some other stuff going on here, per Miles or Gonzalo, you will see he's got, looks like they're shorts, but they're like cargo pants. You see he's got some stuff in the pouches there. He's got a nice thigh swivel. That's cool. Let's see, you've got the double jointed knees. Really good flexibility there. Looks just like the same kind of flexibility he had over here, because it looks like it's the same body style, but his thighs are about the same. It's just with the pouch there. And then his torso is different from his. You see it's got a little different cut up here, but this one is more flat right there. But they both do the same thing. See that? Weird, right? This guy does the same thing. Weird. It's both ways, backwards and forward. They both have the same ab crunch. So, interesting poses will become of this figure here. You can do various interesting things, but I'm not exactly sure how he's going to be doing or what he's going to be doing inside the movie, because he came across or came onto the scene so cool with his demeanor. It's like, I don't know if he's going to be just hopping through the city, web slinging. He's just going to be standing there as a threat or what. But this one is going to be a very interesting concept, a very interesting character for him to face. But the articulation, like I said, is still the same. Even with Pavitr, look at that. He's got the arms out. He can circle. He's got the ab crunch. Got the double jointed, the thigh swivel. Let's take a look at some of the other aesthetics here. You've got the nice, cool jacket here that opens up. I'm not sure what that symbol means, but that's cool. You got these little things on his belt. You've got this is a really cool thing here. I'm not sure, but it's a nice touch. It kind of just drapes down, just represents the style. Even though he's a different Miles, he still got that style. Also, I mean, of course, with the braids, that's nicely neatly braided right there. That's nice and neat. Nice and neat. I can see why he will want to scratch, because that mess does look tight. But don't scratch that, Gonzalo. Don't do that. Sneakers. Sneakers are nice. Nice looking sneakers right here. Got the black here. Got the purple highlights here. That's sweet. And then this is interesting. He's got these marks on his leg, or these design choice on his legs. Not anywhere else on his body, but there's 5 of them. So who knows what that means? Maybe they'll touch on, or maybe that's like a little Easter egg we got to pay attention to. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to see if that means something, if he's going to say something about that. Then right here it says number 2. See that? So maybe that means he's the second Miles, like he's the second Miles in this movie, because we have not seen any other Miles Morales except this guy, right? So this is, I'm looking forward to seeing what he is going to be doing, what he is going to be offering in this particular movie. I mean, I don't know exactly what kind of dynamic pose I'm going to put him in. It's going to be kind of creepy for him to fold his hands, but he just standing there like looking like, yeah, there we go. Looking like I'm ready to do something. Like he just looking like I'm just waiting. You look like he's got the plan. Folks got to listen to him. He's the one. He's the boss. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. Whenever that movie comes out. It's going to be cool. It's going to be exciting. I don't know if he's going to be doing more, but I was glad to see him in the first one. Glad to see his world. And the thing about this artwork, man, the art style of this movie, these movies, is that you don't get to see the artwork really. Like, I mean, you see it, it's there, but it's so animated, so always in motion. There's always something going on, something flickering, something moving around the characters. You don't really get a chance to just see them just stand still, and you're just like, yo, look at that design. That's cool. The way this pops out, I'm just really this is really the standout figure for me because of how many colors just pop out here. This right here, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with him, but for right now, he's my favorite. And of course, this is cool. Looking forward what Gonzalo's going to be doing, and of course the representation culture-wise, both characters. I'm just absolutely pleased. If you find these in the stores, I hope people are able to find these easily in the store so they can go ahead and grab some of these, because this is really nice. I hope you find it in Target, Walmart, whatever. $24.99. Even though you don't get that many accessories, you just get 2 hands, and you get another head. And then, of course, he has his backpack. And same thing with him, 2 hands, another head, and he got that thing, which I'm not exactly sure what it is. But if you have any insight on what some of the stuff means as far as what it is regarding his culture and what this emblem is on his chest, any kind of insight you want to share, you want to talk about Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, feel free to share, man. Like this, share this. Let's get a conversation going about Spider-Man and what you think is going to happen in the movie. You know, because this is fun stuff. It really is. It's a nice way to escape and get away from the reality and the harshness of the real world. And you can just enjoy certain things like this that give you a good representation as far as skin tone, as far as culture. They're both brown, black, brown, however you want to look at it. And the colors, it's just really cool. I'm glad that both of these are in my possession. Great time to be alive. Keep on collecting because collecting is fun. I'll see y'all later.